Hey everyone, just Vicky. Hope you're all well. So today I am showing you how I made this card with the My Favourite Things Halloween Who. So I'm going to be using the 3 witchy owls and some of the twigs. I've already done a blended background using the purple velvet and the mauve and the nautical blue, and then a bit of water splashing for a 4 bleaching technique. So I'm going to start off by stamping out my images with the extreme black from My Favourite Things. I am in love with this ink. It just gives a really nice crisp impression. So I'm just going to quickly get that loaded up. I love that it's such a nice strong black, which is great. This is on my Nina cardstock as well, which I love for ink blending. And also I'm just using my stamping mat as well, just so that I've got a nice squishy background, because it makes it a bit easier for getting a decent impression. So these are the 3 owls that I'm using. I absolutely love these stamps. I just think they are adorable. The little eyes, they just looked so shocked, which I think is really, really cute. The branches, I'm doing the big one and the medium one. I'm going to stamp both of them twice. You will notice that I turn my stamp over when I'm doing the second one. This is because obviously the branches look like they're coming from one side of the card. So to make sure that the highlights and things will look right when I colour them in, I need them stamped the opposite way around so that they look like they're coming from the other side. So then my nice little piece of paper down, ready for the colouring section. So I'm using golden brown for the owls themselves. I absolutely like this colour. I think it's a lovely colour. I decided to do all 3 owls the same colour. I know obviously you get snowy owls and things and different shades, but I just wanted to keep the shading quite the same on all of them, so they look like they're a little family that's all got ready to go out, I think, for Halloween, to varying degrees of obsessiveness. I think the bottom one's just reading up on how to be spooky for Halloween. That's the one I've decided on. That's what I've decided she's reading a book about. I did debate trying to put some kind of a title on the book, but then realised that that would just be ridiculously impossible to try and write that tiny. My writing has always been quite large, so it just would not have worked if I tried to do that. So I just stuck with colouring them in instead. So that is the second owl. It's trying to work out exactly where the shading would be, so under the hat and where the book's hiding the wings and things like that. And then the last one doesn't have very much owl colour on show as it is, so that one doesn't take very long to colour at all. Bless its little self. It's so adorable. My friend, when I showed her this stamp set, literally said that it was cuteness overload, and I think it genuinely is. It's absolutely so cute. And I'm loving my Halloween card making at the moment. I've got to say, I think everyone in the UK needs to get obsessed with Halloween cards just so I have an excuse to make more of them. So this is just my light yellow blend. So that one is just for the beaks and the feet. I decided to do them all the same colour. I'm not sure whether owl's feet are yellow, but they are in this. And then for the hats, I decided to do 2 with the purple blend. I was going to originally make all the hats the same colour, and then I decided against it. I'm not really sure why. I just think when I was colouring them, I decided I quite like the idea of having another colour in there. So this one and then the one in the stripy outfit get the purple hats, and then the one with the book I eventually decided on orange for, which I ended up really, really liking as well, which was always good. So the hats are quite little, so it didn't take too long to do those. And then, as I think I do the hat next. That's my shadow of indecisiveness. Yep, so I just used the orange blend for her hat, just for a bit of variance on that theme. I think my intention originally was to have the orange hat owl in the middle on the card, but I think she ends up at the bottom, if my memory is correct. But never mind. I think it looks nice anyway, still, just to have a little bit of difference. And then I'm just using a 2-colour blend on the stripes on her belly, on her little top, because it's just such a thin band. I think a 3-colour blend just would have been a bit lost on it. And then the other stripes, I decided to use my light green blend. So again, just using the 2 darker colours for that particular one. You'll see me hover a little bit trying to decide whether or not to colour the book in green as well. And then I decided to just do a couple of the little bits of the book, so just those little mini bits of the spine, and decided to use my dark red blend for the rest of the book, just for a different colour coming in there. Once I have coloured the book, I move on to the bands on all the witches' hats, and I just decided to do them all the same. For those, again, I just used a 2-colour blend when I get to it, using the ice grey. I'm obsessed with using that instead of a plain black. I don't think it would have looked quite as nice if I'd just done it in plain black. So I did go with the blends. The space in the middle of the band is absolutely tiny, so I'm actually quite impressed that I didn't make a total mess colouring in the bands on the hats. I think that's why I left them a bit later, just because I was a bit, oh god, don't ruin them. But yeah, they worked okay in the end, so that was good. I ummed and ahed as well about what colour to use on the little buckles for a while, and then I remembered that in my little bag of mysteries I actually have a gold little marker, so I thought I'll just do the buckles in gold. It'll just add a bit of shine to them, and I think it looks quite nice with the little gold buckles. And that was those done. Just show you them a little bit better because I really like them. They're just so adorable. Then it was time to do the branches, so I decided to use the earth brown shades for the actual branch itself, and that little point was just me showing you which angle I was deciding to have the light from. So I was using the darker shades to the left and the bottom, and then the lighter shades from the top right, because that's also where I decided the light was coming from on the witches' hats on the owls as well. So I figured if I had a bit of continuity in there, it would hopefully look like that's the angle that it was coming in from. I do have a white pen to try and do some highlights with, but I'm still a little bit terrified of totally ruining my images with them. So I might just do some test stamps at some point soon and do some test lines to see how they go. With the branches, I was originally thinking of doing green leaves, and then I suddenly remembered that Halloween is in autumn, so all the leaves are nice pretty golden colours. So I decided to use the burnt orange and the golden yellow, just a mixture of both on each branch, so just randomly picked ones to colour in. There was no rhyme or reason to how I decided to do it. I just kind of went with what I thought. I'll have a big one here and a little one there, and went with that. Most of the leaves are just, I think, a 2-colour blend. Some of them managed to make it out to 3, just obviously depending on the size of the leaf. But I really liked the way these colours looked once I'd finished doing them, so I'm very pleased I decided to go with yellows and oranges for the leaves in the end. It's a very Halloween thing. I am going to be pausing in a second while I do my die cutting, because no one wants to sit and watch me do that. It's just not that interesting to watch, in all honesty. It's fascinating and fun to do, but not so great to sit and watch someone else do it, so I won't put you through that torture. I think I've just got a couple more yellows to do. There they go. Using the matching dies, so that's me saying 2 minutes, and that's everything cut out. So then it was time to work out my placement. I knew roughly what I wanted to do. So my plan was to have the bigger branches further at the bottom, and then a smaller one nearer the top. I don't know why I decided to put the book one on the bottom. I just think it kind of ended up that way. And I wanted to put the totally brown owl that doesn't have a costume on apart from a hat onto a littler branch, I think, just because I thought it would look a bit nicer. I then also realised that I'd put my branches the wrong way around, so all the effort I'd put into colour coordinating the highlights would have been totally ruined if I hadn't realised what I'd done then. But luckily I did. So the other thing I needed to do was pop my sentiment on. So I thought I'd better do that once everything was in position, but before I started sticking it, just in case. I did debate heat embossing it, but I decided that I quite like the idea of just having it stamped on and being kind of delicate looking rather than too black and taken away from how cute the images themselves are. So just again using my extreme black ink and lining that up and stamping it on. It's such a cute little sentiment. My other half really likes puns and things, so he rather enjoyed that one when I showed him the card. And I'm just gluing everything down flat on this one. I did debate foam pads for the owls, but in the end I decided I quite like the idea of having it flat. Most of these are going to get posted, so I thought the flatter the better probably was the way to go with these. So I'm just using my pin flare glue on them. It just takes me a few minutes to get them all nicely positioned. I do think that the images are really good, and I'm really pleased with the way the blending on the background turned out. I've also become slightly obsessed with the faux bleaching technique, so that's always good. I've even been tempted into some metallic watercolours. I've seen quite a lot where they do the faux bleaching effect and then also really water down some watercolour, like metallic watercolours, and spray them on as well, and I found that looks really nice on like a night sky effect. And obviously with doing quite a few Halloween cards, there's quite a lot of night effects going on, so I thought it might be quite nice to do those, so I've just ordered myself some of those off Amazon today. So they should come tomorrow, so I will do a little video and show you those when they get here. And then last but not least, the little teeny tiny branch. I do just think it's absolutely adorable. I really like the leaves. It's making me feel very autumnal. I'm ready to put all my jumpers on, throw away anything that even remotely resembles shorts and vest tops, and really go to town with my cozies. And then that last little owl on the slightly wobbly branch. And that is that done. I hope you guys like it. I'm ever so slightly in love with it, kind of don't want to send it, but I'll speak to you soon. Bye!